that Saquon would even contemplate going to play for that team in Philadelphia is insulting to his Giant history and legacy. Saquon very well not be a New York Giant. I know that Joe Shane is having conversations, but it just doesn't feel like it's going to work out. Go to Baltimore. Go to Houston. Go to LA Chargers. Do not go to the Philadelphia Eagles, because if you do, that appreciation and respect and reverence that we all have for you, Saquon, will be lost. It'll be gone. We want to still respect and love him. If he goes to Houston and he's down there with C.J. Stroud and they do some great stuff, and hell, he even wins a championship, we'll feel happy for him. Yeah. No matter what happens, what he does in Philadelphia, we will hate it. Don't let the nonsense, Saquon. Don't let the Howard Eskins of the world or his traitor son who's going down the road influence you to go into the cesspool of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Go kiss ass.
You're going to turn into one of those people that we hate. Yes. And we don't want that. Yeah. We don't. Like, we'll respect you, but we'll hate you. And that's not a good thing. Your jersey, that 2-6 that we see all over the stadium, it won't be worn anymore.
Gone.
It'll be gone.
Gone.
It'll be burned. In some cases. Yeah. Do not, without any doubt, go to Philadelphia.
So this is a live show. Welcome to the Check Swing Podcast. I hit the wrong button there. You wouldn't have known it if I didn't tell you. But I think it'd be funny because as I hit the wrong button, I accidentally knocked over my camera, so I had to let it run anyway. So welcome to the Check Swing Podcast with myself and the star of the show in his sweet Philly Stars hat. Mr. Coach Santa is in the building. Welcome back, y'all. NFL free agent frenzy is well upon us. It is here. But first and foremost, as I like to start the show, please let me know, Miguel, how have you been?
I will say a little bit up and down. In the last 30 days, 40 days, I survived COVID, stomach virus, and now I have allergies. I blame everybody on the MTA, Transit Authority, on all buses, trains, and all modes of transportation. But today,
you are the only participant.
Isn't it? It's a new day. Just ignore that, right? Today's a good day. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're feeling good. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same thing down there, but it is freezing up here.
Yeah.
It's been extremely cold, and it's really the wind chill. It's not even the regular temperature.
Allegedly, it was 45 degrees this morning, and then allegedly it was 60 degrees on the way home. It felt like 5 below and maybe 10. So
5 below and maybe 10.
Yeah, with the wind chill.
That is interesting.
Well, because because we're close to the water, so you get that. Yeah, that sea breeze is no joke, man.
We had in my area at least 3 snow squalls yesterday. At least 3. There's 3 that I saw.
Yeah, we had one as well. I mean, snow squalls. Those are,
It's not really a big deal.
It isn't.
Yeah. I didn't ever even heard the term snow squall until maybe a few years ago.
You never heard it growing up?
Never.
Hey, what did you do? You just played baseball and went home?
Played everything and went home. Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, whatever, and then went home. I didn't pay attention to the world too much.
You played hockey? You play street hockey?
I played. So that's interesting. You add. Yes, yes and no. So I never really played against anybody or with like a group of people. My cousin and I, where my cousin lived, there was an area in his apartment building that was just kind of like empty. It was inside. It was indoor. It was kind of empty, and we could just we were just in there playing hockey with each other.
Nice.
And then when I was in the 6th grade, I was on my way somewhere where there would have been there was a basketball court, a college gym. And I took my hockey stuff. I got some hockey stuff for Christmas, right? Got two hockey sticks and, whatever. Got into a car accident. Never saw the hockey stuff again. Never saw it again.
Wait. How the car like ran into your game?
No, it was a collision, right? It was one car collision. The car was coming out of a shopping center, ran the light, and boom, ran right into us, right on Baltimore Pike, actually. And I want to say the car was totaled. I mean, I was young. I was in like the 6th grade at the time, so I didn't really understand. I want to say the car might have been totaled, and I never got my belongings out of it. It wasn't my family's. I was with a friend.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was that. So that was my short-lived hockey career.
Yeah, we played street hockey because there was actually 2 people on the block that had like the full goalie gear and stuff. I only wanted to be the goalie. I didn't want to do anything else. And I remember we played like maybe like 5 or 6 games for like 4 hours each. Freaking loved it. Until we started actually fighting. And then cops were called, and one thing led to another, and we never played hockey again.
Oh,
I know we took the violence to heart.
But look, man, it is what I mean. When we play football, me and my homies, when we play football against the cats from across town, we went at it, man. We went at it. Like, we hit each other like we had on pads, but we didn't.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
We were trying to level each other.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about it later on. We got a lot to talk about today. The NFL free agent frenzy is going on. The Eagles have made some signings. We're going to go over some things about that. We are going to talk about some of the Eagles' needs, some of the things they've done, some of the people they've lost, in a sense. How do I want to say that? Because when I say that some people they lost, it makes me feel like they died, but they didn't die. Some people that aren't on the team anymore. There you go. And yeah, we'll just get into it. So today was an interesting day for the Eagles. Big news. If you haven't heard yet. Former Giants running back Saquon Barkley is now a Philadelphia Eagle. 3 years, $37 million. They paying him.
And it can max out at 48 million with all the bonuses.
With all the bonuses, it could be 48 million. They're paying him. I think you were the one that sent me the information. I was working today, something crazy. I didn't get to pay attention to anything that was going on.
I was working too. I was just multitasking.
I'm not saying you weren't, but what I'm saying is we've talked about it before. My
Sorry,
a little bit different from you.
I had to speak in code. I got you.
So you sent me this information, and your feelings, your reaction when you saw it, because I'll give you mine. But your feelings, your reaction when you saw it, because you sent it to me. You knew before I did. You always know before I did.
Listen, it's big money for a running back at the running back position, and I think it's been proven that most teams that do win in the playoffs and win championships, you do kind of need like a 3-headed monster in the backfield. But I think with his style of run or his style of running in front of an offensive line, even with the loss of Kelsey, and you have who Jurgens coming in at center, even with all of that, it's still going to be a 2 or 3 times better offensive line than what he had in New York. So if for nothing else, by default, he should be successful, providing that, of course, he doesn't get injured. That's always the big worry with running backs.
Right.
It's a lot of money, but at the same time, the league did us a favor by, expanding the salary cap.
Mhm.
And with all the potential moves on the way, we could actually do some damage in free agency if we really wanted to. But I know already, we're starting to. I think we signed another like smaller linebacker that nobody's ever heard of. Somebody said he looked like a Minecraft character. But
You talking about the guy from the Saints?
from the Saints, yeah, I forget his name already. But all the comments were he doesn't look like I think the other big free agent from the Ravens, Patrick. I forgot his last name, but he was he was the running the linebacker. I'm sorry for the Ravens, and who's a free agent. So he would be a big signing. And I know they're still talking teams about trading Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick. Josh Sweat, I think, is more expendable, but I don't know if I could part with Hassan.
No, I would not be happy if the Eagles parted ways with Hassan Reddick. Josh Sweat, his production, he had his moments, right?
Right.
I think Josh Sweat is a valuable piece, but I also think he's more valuable with valuable pieces around him. If you keep those valuable pieces around him, he does well because he's a tough guard one-on-one, regardless, right? But when you have guys like Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox around you, you're going to get those one-on-one looks, and a lot of times Sweat will be able to win those. But he had his days, and sometimes he disappeared too. So, there's that with that, and I'll be interested. I'll kind of be surprised if either one of them are gone. I'm sure there are some people that would love to trade for Hassan Reddick. I don't think the Eagles will get what they would want to get for him. I don't think the Eagles are really interested in trading him, to be honest with you. I think it's a business move. I think it's a business move for both of them.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe if they were to actually sign Reddick to an extension, they would actually gain some crazy calculation, but they would actually gain like an extra $5 million on the salary cap if they re-signed him. Because it's like whatever that dead cap money, I still don't understand the capology behind that. But when you re-sign somebody or extend somebody, you can actually take their salary and kind of like portion it into a bonus, and therefore it doesn't count as a cap. Or I might have it in reverse, but it's some crazy algorithm. But for whatever reason, if they extend him, they actually save money.
Well, save some money, Eagles. Save some money and have a wonderful edge rusher at the same time. But today's news with the Eagles the signing of Saquon Barkley. You sent that to me, and really my initial reaction was like, whoa. Like I heard some talk, but I was like, nah, no way. He's going to be a Giant. Like the Giants aren't letting him go, right? But apparently, yeah, it's happening. Then I was just like, Saquon's kind of old for running back.
But even for running back, you're talking 27. I mean, he's older, but not old. 30 would be considered old. Like, would you, if you had the choice and all the money on the planet, would you rather get him or Derrick Henry?
Saquon, because he's younger, right? But we also know that 26 is on the other side of the prime for you running backs,
right?
So you sign him for 3 years. He might have 3 years left. Three Saquon years left. Like he'll probably play another 7, but he probably has a good, maybe not 7, but he probably has a good 2, maybe 3 good Saquon years left. And by Saquon years, I mean you really not necessarily limit his touches, but you swing him out. You get him the ball through the air, let him get out in the space. Brian Westbrooky type, but he's not. He's not Brian Westbrook. He's not that guy, but he's the one that can run somebody over, or he can get out of space and make it hurt. So I was shocked. I was happy. I wasn't excited though.
Really?
It didn't excite me. Probably because I knew we need some help in the backfield. I didn't even realize that DeAndre Swift was going to be gone. So when I saw it, I'm like, oh, DeAndre Swift and Saquon, that's nice. And then I saw he's going to the Bears. I think you also told me that.
You're right.
So I was like, okay, well that 1-2 punch ain't there. So I'm guessing Kenny Gainwell and Saquon is the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I'm not too keen. Yeah,
Maybe, or is there another splash and they're gonna go ahead and get Derrick Henry and then platoon that whole thing? Because Derrick Henry has like over 2,000 carries in his career.
yeah, he's got a lot of tread, and I think that would. Huh?
That's not counting the playoffs.
Yeah,
Over
but
2,000 carries.
how good was his offensive line though? You know what I mean? I'm sure it was good enough to get him to the playoffs, but
Yeah, he's been around long enough that he's probably had good and bad offensive lines. Probably not any as good as the Eagles' offensive line has been in the past few years. I'm not going to say how they go they'll be next year because we don't know. Their center is gone. Jason Kelsey is retired. Did he retire before? Yeah, he retired on last Monday. Okay. I'm trying to think. Did we talk about him retiring? Yeah, we did. We did. If y'all didn't see the show about Jason Kelsey's retirement, go ahead and check it out. It was last week's show. Go over to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/NewTwistRadio. You can check out all the shows. That's the 10-7 show. Intelligent Ignorance, Check Swing Podcast. Let's Not Argue. All on Thursdays, I got Throwback Thursdays, so y'all can check those out on the Facebook page and all that good stuff too. But yeah, Saquon Barkley is an Eagle. Let us know what you feel about that. 669-275-0548. I hate when the number changes because I got so used to saying the old number that I can't say the new number effectively. But hopefully you guys get the picture. We're going to get back to some NFL talk in just a minute, but I want to mention
we got a rat on the line, or not on the line, but in the chat, in the comment.
Oh, do we have one of those today? Hold on, let me go ahead and. Oh, it's Mr. Shipley. How you doing, Mr. Shipley? Mr. Shipley says, smells like a low-budget DeMarco Murray type move. So, Mr. Shipley, here's what I'll say to that, because I honestly can't argue with it too much outside of the fact that in this situation, we did. Miguel, keep me honest here because I feel like I'm about to mess this whole timeline up. Okay, didn't we get rid of Shady and pick up DeMarco? That's how that worked, right?
Because we cut Deshaun Jackson, and then we traded LaShawn McCoy for the great Kiko Alonso,
and then was like, yeah, we'll pick up DeMarco Murray. So DeMarco Murray was on the other side. Right?
He did well his first year here.
He had more than 1 year here?
Something like that.
I don't even remember. Like his time here was kind of forgettable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly wasn't a big fan of DeMarco Murray coming here. I mean, I was kind of excited because, he used to kill us. He used to kill the Eagles. But I just wasn't I didn't at the time I didn't see how it fit in the Chip Kelly offense. At the time, like to me, LaShawn McCoy fit more in a Chip Kelly style of offense than DeMarco Murray. But anyway, back to Mr. Shipley's comment. I think Saquon is better than DeMarco Murray. I think he has a little more life in him left than DeMarco Murray. At least I'm hoping than DeMarco Murray did at that time, because I really feel like after DeMarco Murray left the Eagles, that was pretty much the end of it. And plus, DeMarco Murray had that stench of playing with the Cowboys. Like that'll make any man less of a man playing for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, as you've seen, since they haven't, won a championship, and they haven't won a championship since the last time America's Funniest Home Videos was actually funny.
Yo, I disagree with that. America's Funniest Home Videos is funny to me.
You like Rubio as the host on the show?
Alfonso Ribeiro. No, I mean, he's a
Alfonso Ribeiro.
faggot, but I'm talking about the videos. Like the videos crack me up sometimes.
I mean, yeah, but it's
Oh my God, hold on, man. You not party pooping on America's Funniest Home Videos, are you?
it's the host. It always depends on the host, man. The host is like,
The host ain't up there for 20 seconds. 20
but
seconds.
the lead-ins to the videos, it's just so
Corny. I know. It's corny.
they're horrible.
Corny. But I feel like they got the right guy for it, though. You know what I mean? Like, because when people see him of our age, of our era, people see Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlton was corny. And it just kind of plays right in it. To me, it plays kind of right into that.
And so was DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray was trash for the Eagles. Is what it is. I want to mention what you have down there in the slide because I watched the game yesterday. As Dawn Staley winning SEC Coach of the Year, undefeated season, SEC regular season champions, SEC conference tournament champions, and headed into the March Madness tournament. I'm sorry, I blanked for a minute because I was reading something. So R. Dot just texted me, said only one season in Philly for DeMarco Murray is 2015. Yeah, that's all. That's all we needed. That's all we needed.
Yeah, I forgot he was signed for 5 years, and yeah, got it.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. He's probably good.
And done. Yeah. And done.
We are going to get back to the free agent talk. Miguel, I know you're not a fan of the NBA. I know that. I don't know how much of a basketball fan period you are, but do you ever watch this Dawn Staley coach South Carolina team? And more specifically, did you watch the game yesterday?
I did not watch the game yesterday. But I've seen her coach several games and she's pretty intense.
She is. I've never been to a game. I can't hear it, but she seems like she's a very good coach. She gets the kids to buy in and play in the system, and it seems like she gives them a freedom. And she North Philly, you know what I'm saying? Kids can relate to her. They can relate to her a little better than they probably can relate to Kim. I don't know what's her name, Malarkey or something like that. The LSU coach, I think that's her name, Malarkey. But the thing is, like, here's one thing that I've noticed from Dawn Staley, and some people might disagree with me. When I look at coaches, women's basketball coaches, and some men's too, right? You have coaches like, let's just say Malarkey or whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I'm messing up her name. I think that's her name, Kim Malarkey. I think is her name. People feel like she makes it about her. She wants to be the star of the show, right? I look at somebody like Gino Auriemma of UConn. And just to me, it feels like not necessarily he wants to be the star of the show, but he wants that attention. There are other coaches out there. There's some coaches that I never felt like that way about. A coach of one of the schools I hate, Duke University, Coach K. He never seemed to me like he was looking for the attention per se, right? I feel like a lot of the moves he made were business moves. When he decided to coach USA basketball, the biggest business move of his career, in my opinion, because now the college coaches, Mulkey is her name. Mulkey. Thank you, R. Dot. The kids going to college want to play for Coach K. He's coaching Team USA. How do you not want to want to play for him? Right? How do you not want to? That was one of the greatest moves he made. But there are a lot of college coaches that want to be the show. Okay, they want to be the show. And they don't want anybody outshining them, kind of like how Chip Kelly was. Chip Kelly wanted to be the show. He didn't want anybody outshining. I don't get that from Dawn Staley, right? Dawn Staley will wear her messages. She will, wear the jewelry or whatever the case may be. Not the jewelry like blinged out, but like what you see in the picture she had on. She had that on yesterday. It says Dawn. I don't know who made it. I don't know if she bought it. Somebody made it for her. But it's like beads. It's like one of the things you kind of make in school or in an art class or whatever. she'll have messages and stuff like that, but it's always about the team and how she bigs up her team, and she never talks down about anybody on her team. I've seen other coaches do it. A lot of coaches could take notes from her because sometimes as coach, and you will know this, Miguel. Sometimes as a coach, you can't force the kids or the people or whoever to buy in, right? Like some coaches try to force them to buy into the system. Sometimes as a coach, they will buy in. Thank you, Mr. Shipley. I just saw that you put it in there too. I'm sorry.
And since he's a Cowboys fan, Mr. Shipley, it's 1L, not 2.
It is
Sorry.
1L, but
Sorry.
you know how it is with the Cowboys fans. Sometimes kids buy in based on your personality and who you are. I think Miguel, I think you and I kind of, when we were coaching together, I think the kids just kind of bought into what we. I saw what you put in there. I think the kids bought into what we wanted them to do. We never forced the issue. We never, we didn't yell or anything like that. We were not those types of coaches. We just showed them like this is what you want to do, and this is how you'll be successful with it. You don't look down on players or anything like that. And I like, and I'm not trying to say these people do it, but I look at a coach, Calipari from Kentucky basketball. He kind of is given the status of starting the whole one and done thing for colleges or really embracing it. But he'll tell you like, look, I ain't got the talent to do what I want to do. And he'll put it in the media and stuff like that. Like, come on, coach.
But it kind of leads into I posted the video because I know we were going to try to play it last week, but we just didn't get to it. About the pitcher.
Want to just play it and you want to talk
about
it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So here we go. We got this video here, and here we go. Boom. Sound to it.
No, it was just this is the soundless version.
Okay.
Because the other one was playing that music and stuff. So
tell us what's happening here.
So to put this in context, the person that grabs the player coming off the mound is the pitching coach. He was calling pitches. Okay. That's what they do in their program, and I believe this is I always forget the teams. They were actually playing in I think it was Vanderbilt. I forget the name of the other school, but they were actually playing at in Houston, in the May Park. So he got rocked. Several sequences of pitches. He left a couple of curveballs just hanging over the plate. His changeup wasn't really changing. And then, but apparently when he was coming off the mound, he could be mouthed. You can see his mouth saying, "I have 4 effing pitches," right? So again, the pitching coach is coming in and kind of ordering him like, "I'm the pitching coach. This is what we do." And then I believe the person with the white beard is the head coach for that team taking him back. Big no for me. But in some of the comments that I saw in the videos, there's a lot of college pitchers that actually say they despise pitching coaches that call every sequence of pitches because it kind of takes away the feel for them. And me, like I think calling pitches, this is where I think you got to know your players. You got to know what they need. But at this level, like the level that you and I have coached at the high school level, depending on the experience of the pitcher, there may be some hand-holding that may need to be taking place, especially if they haven't been coached. But when a player has been coached, I'm of the ilk of, okay, what the sequence is, what's working, what's working today, what worked in the bullpen and what's not working. Go with that feel, you know what I mean? And you and I know, we've been coaching together for almost, 10, 13 years. anytime I talk to a pitcher who's in trouble, I'm like, okay, what's working, what's not working? But this comes from the seeds that we drop in spring training and the off-season program. You're going to be honest with me, but you got to take my honesty in return. Like, your curveball is garbage today. Let's forget about it. Let's work on the other sequence of pitches. And sometimes I'll ask my pitchers, do you want us to intervene? I got a pitching coach. We can call it. Or do you want, my catcher to call it? You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. But the onus should be on that unit, that catching pitching unit. But to be so angry coming off the mound that you're in your coach's face, I think, and a lot of people were upset that the pitching coach actually put his hands on him, which is
to me, because I was going to address that, but go ahead.
Right, which is a big no-no. You know what I mean? There was only one time I had to put my hand on a player, and that was because he came into my face like this, because I think in his mind he thought he could do that. And all I had to do was say, don't you ever do that again.
Did you say it through your teeth?
I said it like this. Yeah, but the thing is, right. Yeah. But you can't say that to an 11-year-old because dude, hold up. How many people watching at home, listening wherever, is going to let an 11-year-old talk to you like that?
Yo, but I'm only laughing because the whole time I thought you were talking about somebody like 16, 17 years old.
He was the only one that had the gonads enough to try to come at me. I'm like, who are you? And the worst part about it was this was at Ripken.
Okay.
Parents everywhere. And I remember we were playing at the Fenway Park version. That field, which was I think behind Yankee Stadium. So we were at Fenway Park, the field, the whatever you want to call it, and he's having a bad day, whatever. So typical play, ground ball to ground ball to first base, pitcher supposed to cover, right? All right, 11-year-old still getting new to that, right? But he got there late and proceeded to yell at the first baseman. For no reason whatsoever other than the fact that he just got kind of caught in the wind. I said, no, that was your play. So he looks dead at me like, you're wrong. You need to shut up.
Oh.
We're going to do this, are we? Okay.
Oh.
So I call time.
Yeah, that 11-year-old. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I call time, and I come up thinking, okay, I just got to calm him down. And he put his hand like, you don't know what you're doing. I said, what I said was not expecting the reaction that I got because he bawled. He cried. Not the. He literally was like it was like from the bottom of his toes to the stupid haircut he had. Like and I'm looking around. It's like, now I got to calm him down. He's an absolute wreck to pitch. I said, okay, I think we're done. We're done here. So I had to make a pitching change. But to his credit, the very next day, that same kid actually apologized to me and apologized to the whole team. To his credit.
Well, you better.
But I think that was more of his parents because, yeah.
I don't apologize. That's my parents tell me to.
Right. No, but he seemed like he got it, and he said, he actually told me, he admitted, he said, I got angry. And I was like, well, duh. So, but what was funny was I think the next week he was going through his thing again, and I was like, just don't erupt. And I think one of his parents said something, and he actually yelled him out. He's like, stop talking. My coach is talking. Again, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Seriously. Long story short, the week after that, he broke his arm skateboarding. So, yeah, that was a frustrating It was frustrating. But
Junior type situation.
right. But to do it at the level, the college level, at a major league ballpark on national television, that's a whole level. That's a whole nother level of I'm sorry, disrespect.
I'm kind of on the side of the kid here, which is surprising. I'm sure it's surprising to you. Kind of on the side of the kid, right?
Mm.
Here's the thing. Looking at that video, you have no idea who he's talking to until he gets into the dugout, right? You have no clue who he's talking to.
But when he's coming into the dugout, whoever he was talking to from the pitcher's mouth, he never laid eyes off of his pitching coach. He was talking to the pitching coach.
I mean, that's fine. I'm sure the pitching coach knew he was talking to him. I'm
Right.
just saying, we as viewers, you had no idea who he was talking to, right? So like if you're frustrated, I personally don't have an issue with a player showing frustration, but I
Right.
will have an issue with how they show the frustration.
Right.
Okay. And personally, I didn't think that was that bad. Now, let's put it in perspective. It's a college kid. I don't know what year he's in. I don't know how old he is.
He's a junior. He actually transferred from a Division I school prior to that, and then went to Louisiana.
And that was a Division I school too. So he went Division I to Division I. That was the Raging Cajuns, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. He went to Trinity. He went to Trinity University before that, which is Division III.
Oh, okay. So he went to D3 to
and then he transferred to a Division I. Yeah.
And now that doesn't give you any leeway to, talk to your coach. Now, we couldn't hear what he said. In that video, you couldn't hear what he said, and he put up the 4. Talking about I got 4 pitches, right? He did if he were saying things that were like out of pocket,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have a bigger problem with it. If he were giving him the finger, cussing him out, pointing at him on it, I'd have a problem with it. He's frustrated. You show his front. Now, as the coach, if I'm that kid, you're not putting your hands on me.
Right.
Now we have a problem. You put your hands on me. Right.
Yeah. That was the mistake.
In the street, I don't have an issue with anybody. No, you can say whatever you want to me. Once you put your hands on me, all bets are off, right? So I have a bigger issue with that coach putting his hands on that kid than I do with the kid showing his frustration with the coach or whoever the case may be as he's going into the dugout. If the coach had went over there and gotten the kid's face and not put his hands on him, I'd be completely on the coach's side.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, and it did look like I think the coach caught himself because you saw how quick when the head coach came over, he was like, "Oh, okay," and then he was done like real quick. So and I think that's the only issue. That's where it's like, I mean, you and I, you've seen the players that we've dealt with, and we've never, thankfully, had to really do that. There were players that we've had to kick off our team, who shall remain nameless, but rhymes with DePondre. But but even in that, like, dealing with the subordinate.
That person is now one of the assistant coaches on the team. So
that's the way it always works.
Long way.
Yeah, a long way. And tell him I'm still not. I didn't touch him, but I did break his umbrella. I don't give a damn anymore. So I'll give him the $1.38 he paid for to get it. But yeah, like I'm never gonna put my hands on a player, but I may look over at the parent like, you whipping his ass or am I? Like, what I mean? But there were the arguments that I've been seeing about it is like, coach was wrong for putting his hands on him, but it's almost like an entitled reaction. Because like, who are you to whether I believe in calling pitches at the college level or not, it's like you came from Division III to a Division I school. Like, who are you to show up the coach? Because the other said they said he said, "What are we doing? I only have 4 pitches. What the f are we doing?" Allegedly, that's the comment, and the school actually hasn't made any public comment about it. So,
Yeah, I would be interested to know that entire to hear the story. I want to hear that story. Like, I want to know what was happening there, because I mean, I've seen players get frustrated with coaches and stuff like that. Not necessarily as bad as that. You know, there are coaches out there. Let's be honest. There are coaches out there that aren't good. Right? Not everybody's a good coach. Not everybody is meant to be a coach. There are like Michael Jordan has never been a coach. There's probably a reason for that.
yeah.
Magic Johnson tried it. Didn't work out well. Okay, Larry Bird did well. He did pretty good. Isaiah Thomas, not so much. Right? Football players tend to be better coaches, right? But how often do you see a superstar player become a football coach or a coach in any sport?
Like, yeah, and even in baseball, it's like catchers. A lot of catchers have been managers
and
successful at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it would be, I wouldn't say he would be the first one, but it would be interesting to see if Deion Sanders were to ever coach in the NFL as a head coach and have success.
I think he could do it.
I'm sure he could, but
whether it translates,
to see what he does with this Colorado program too. The players that he wants to have in there.
I think he could coach any team on this earth except for the Cowboys.
You just hope he don't coach the Cowboys.
You know what? No. You know why I say that? Because of who the owner is. Because I think there's still players like Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman that are still they still have their chip on their shoulder for the fact that Jerry Jones fired the way he treated Jimmy Johnson on the way out.
Well, I'll probably, they don't seem like it. Like Michael Irvin always talks highly of them and Troy Aikman and all like that. But Deion wasn't on the team when Jimmy Johnson was there.
That's right. I always forget that. Never mind.
Switzer guy. Barry Switzer. Let's get back to NFL free agency. It's been quite a day. And if you're just joining us, make sure you go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Neutrals Radio, where all of our shows are housed. You can also check us out on wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Amazon, iHeart, whatever the case may be. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go check us out. Some of our previous episodes. We're going to talk about the free agency just a little bit. I just want to also acknowledge that Fletcher Cox, Eagles defensive lineman Fletcher Cox, announced his retirement yesterday. So that's on both sides of the ball. You have anchors on both sides of the ball that announced their retirement. Jason Kelsey last week and Fletcher Cox yesterday. And this was the what was this? The statement? Because I can't even see that. I can see it, but I had to be like, But
I know. Yeah.
Kelsey Lane, you guys will always have a special place in my heart. Trent Cole, I'm so thankful for you taking me under your wing in my first year. I can only hope I was able to have the same kind of impact on others that you had on me. DB, you and I have grown together over the years, excuse me, and share a similar history. You don't know what you mean to me. Vinny, we went from not knowing each other at all to being in the same group at the combine and then being drafted by the same team. We were roommates as rookies and next door neighbors as veterans. You are more than a best friend to me. You are a big brother. To all my other teammates and coaches, I will forever cherish the brotherhood we created, memories that will last a lifetime. And then he goes on to address the Eagles fans. He talks about where he grew up in Yazoo City, and he continues to reflect. So if you want to see that, I would go over to Miguel's Instagram page. Miguel, go ahead, put your Instagram out there for the people to stalk you.
MA Santa 1076 is Instagram, and I also have another one underscore Coach Santa. So those are my Instagram profiles.
There you go. You can check him out and read the rest of that quote right there. Make sure you follow him, Mike. Don't just go over and read. Make sure you follow him too. Give Coach Santa a follow. He's an interesting follow. All right. But yeah, all the best to Fletcher Cox. I want to, personally say thank you for the good times that we had. You were one of my favorite players with the cat. Oh my God, wow. You're one of my favorite. I hope nobody caught what I almost said. You're one of my favorite players with the Eagles, and and I'm more so happy that you are not going to be wearing another team's jersey before you decided to kiss the game goodbye.
Yeah, how about that? Do you? Not to say that it tarnishes a legacy, but like Jason Peters,
Where you hang your hat with him, right?
I mean, I want to say Hall of Fame left tackle, but it's like he was still hanging on the last like 3 or 4 years.
He played this year. He was playing for the Cowboys this year.
Not effectively though.
Yeah, he was playing for the Cowboys this year, so he's still holding on. One of the greatest to ever do it, but at this point of his career, we're like, damn, Jason Peters is still playing.
Yeah,
like and it's unfortunate. He was great with the Eagles. He was great with the Bills. I forgot where he went to after the Eagles. Was it the Bears?
he went to Dallas.
He went to. Well, I think he
last
played
year.
Bears before. Was it the Bears before? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was the Bears before Dallas, and then he went to Dallas last year.
There it is. All right. So yeah,
but Mr. Shipley, who misspelled Mulkey, doesn't want to talk about that.
Always messing with Mr. Shipley. Let's talk about some of the free agent signings of the day. DeAndre Swift, as I mentioned earlier, signed. Well, I'm just going to run through them real quick. DeAndre Swift earlier today signed with the Bears, which then led me to know that he wasn't on the Eagles anymore because I thought we had him for years. But yeah, I didn't even know it was like a thing. I thought he was here for next year too.
Mr. Shipley can tell you the next one.
Tony Pollard signed with Tennessee, which is interesting. They signed him and basically knowing that Travis Henry won't be signing back there.
Derrick Henry.
Excuse me. Who's Travis Henry?
He was a running back for the Bills in like 2004.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm stuck in.
That was what Madden. That was Madden 05.
Yeah, I'm stuck back there. Jacobs, the safety, right?
Running back for the Vegas.
Oh, okay. Because Green Bay is not bringing back Aaron Jones,
who was released after Jacob signed. But it doesn't. That doesn't make sense because Aaron fits perfectly into their offense of what they want to do. Jacobs doesn't seem to fit that. You know what I mean?
There's something there. I mean, maybe did they not believe in him anymore? A couple of years ago, we're talking about he might be rookie of the year. And then I don't know. But we'll have to see. Russell Wilson signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's going to be interesting. I'm actually interested in seeing how that works out there. They don't have much going on over there in Pittsburgh, but a lot of people thought Kenny Pickett was going to be the man. Actually, there was a lot of calls here in Philadelphia. People calling saying Kenny Pickett is going to be better than Jalen Hurts. We'll have to see. Eagles signed Bryce Huff, 3 years, $51 million. They gave him some money. Saquon, we already talked about that. And Landon Dickerson gets an extension, 4 years, $84 million. $87 million contract includes $50 million guaranteed monies. He's getting the bag. And I believe he is now the highest paid guard in NFL history.
Yes.
Highest paid guard in NFL history right now. Not Brandon Graham, excuse me. Landon Dickerson. The Eagles did re-sign Brandon Graham though one more. He said one more. He's going one more year. This is it. This is it for him. His 15th and final season. One more year, and that's going to be another. That's another one. I'm glad is not going to be wearing another jersey before he goes. So that's 3 guys. This is rare.
Unheard of.
You have 1.
Unheard of.
You're about to have 3. And of this group, there might be more. I can't see Lane Johnson playing for another team.
I can't either.
Can't see that happening. Who else on this team can I not see? That might be it, actually.
Well, because I mean, the Eagles pay out for the line, so that's where they put their emphasis, financially. So it makes sense.
But I just feel like when the time comes that the Eagles wouldn't want to pay him, I don't feel like Lane is going to be going somewhere else. Because I feel like Lane is almost there now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like he's almost there now. He was if I'm not mistaken, was he the last? No, was he the first Chip Kelly or was he the last Andy Reid?
I want to say last Andy Reid, because I think Mailata I think did they get Mailata under Kelly?
I don't remember. We've had this conversation before. I think Mailata was. I thought Mailata was an Andy Reid, but he might have been a Chip Kelly. Mailata might have been the last year of Andy Reid though, because that was the project. Because it was like 3 years before you even saw the field in preseason, like that. But he turned out to be all right. Can't be mad at that.
He joined in 18, so it was actually technically under Doug Peterson, and then he didn't really start until like 2020, 21.
He was after the Super Bowl. That's okay. There you go. He was after the Super Bowl. I don't know why I always think that he was before the Super Bowl. You know what? For whatever reason, and there's absolutely no reason for me to get these two confused. None whatsoever.
You thinking of the fireman?
Huh?
You thinking of the fireman?
Yes. For whatever reason, I always, when Jordan Mailata, I think that he would, Danny Watkins. I don't know why I get that confused, but I always do.
Side note, we went to that Eagles open practice the one year, and Danny Watkins was one of the starters or whatever. So what they did was they did everybody's like they did the announcement. They had like a contest. So they did this like they would announce it and you have to come out and do something. I don't know what made him think of him to do this, but he ran out with his Eagles practice gear on and a fire hat and gave Jason Peters CPR.
Mouth to mouth?
Not mouth to mouth, just like chest compressions.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then he did like I'm saving the day kind of sort of thing. So everybody was like clapping, and then as he was done, they were like, it was like everybody on our level were just like, what was that?
I tell you what, I've been to a few of those open practices.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who used to go to the camp growing up, I wasn't feeling the open practice. I wasn't, because I don't know. It was something about being at Lehigh or back when it was Westchester, and being close. You're an arm's length. I think I took a picture of King Dunlap. You remember how tall he was?
Yes.
He was King Dunlap. I had to find this picture. He was standing somewhere, and I was behind him, and I had to. He was taller than I'm short. I took a picture. It was like a real dope picture. I took a picture from my vantage point, and it was up, and you could it was like going up his back, and like I was spread out to his name and stuff. It was a real dope picture, and then like it was kind of dope. I have to find that picture one day and show it. But I had to take the picture because I was like, yo, this dude is huge. I cannot see around him. Like this dude, this human being is Mungungus, and I just don't understand why. But yeah, all right, let's round it all out. Kirk Cousins got the bag.
How is this dude?
I do not know.
He's almost as big of a robber as Chase Daniels. Because believe it or not, Chase Daniels, I think in the span of like 5 years, made $50 million, and he never took a snap. Because you remember, he was the backup to. We signed him as a backup to damn, I forgot his name already. Carson Wentz as a security.
I don't remember that.
But I remember they gave him like $10 million with like a $5 million signing bonus. So I'm like, because he came from Kansas City.
Okay.
So they figure any quarterback that comes from Kansas City is going to be like, yeah. And then they saw him in preseason. They're like, you're going to hold the clipboard.
Which he was supposed to do this year. Like he was supposed to have the sweetest job in the league this year. Messed him up. And he probably wasn't in shape or nothing. He probably was like, look, Aaron Rodgers playing in front of me. Ain't no need for me to practice.
How does Cousins get a $50 million bonus? What does he do?
$1 million guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
$100 million of his contract is guaranteed. Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. Atlanta got some money to spend, and look like the Kirk Cousins though. Like now, okay. Because I know there's probably some people watching that. I was big on Kirk Cousins coming out of Michigan State. I was big on it. I actually hoped the Eagles drafted Kirk Cousins coming out of Michigan State. I was big on Kirk Cousins. I'm glad the Eagles did not draft him because he doesn't have the results. He's been in playoffs quite a few times. Doesn't have the results. And he struggles against the Eagles.
Whoa.
And the Eagles have won the Super Bowl since he's been in, and he hasn't been close.
Whoa.
Actually, no, he has been close one time. Right? What was he on the team that year? No, that was the Saints. No, hold on. I'm getting confused now. When
we went to the Super Bowl, it was against Eagles and the Vikings. Case
Keenum, that's right. Okay, never mind. Yeah, he wasn't on the team then. He came the next year. I think they signed him the next year, I believe.
Yeah, because I think he was still in Washington at the time.
Yeah, still in Washington. Yep, absolutely. So let me just see if there's let's see if anything we missed while we were on air here, because I do want to talk about the Sixers. I'm not Sixers. Doggone it. I'm going to talk about the Phillies and their what we failed to talk about last week about how they've come to a verbal agreement with Acuna. And y'all all know Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves. Well, the Phillies.
You sound like a dad with a whole bunch of kids.
They know who I'm talking about. The Phillies have come to a verbal agreement with like Ronald Acuna Jr.'s 14-year-old brother or something like that, 11-year-old brother, something crazy, that he's supposed to sign with the Philadelphia Phillies when it's time for him to turn professional.
It's first off, it's a verbal agreement, right, which can be broken. Right. And he's freaking 12.
12.
He can't sign professionally for another 4 years.
Exactly.
Which he'll be 16. But if he's coming from the Acuna bloodline, who's to say? You know what I mean?
If you want to talk about clickbait, that was probably the biggest clickbait article ever. Because it said Acuna is signing with the Phillies. And I was like, Acuna is not a free agent. This was before Acuna got hurt.
Right.
I was like, Acuna is not a free agent. How is he signing with the Phillies? And I had to open it because I had to know. And I had to get bamboozled by the clickbait. Had to happen. All right, I'm trying to look and see, but things keep moving on me. I'm trying to see if we missed anything interesting.
You want to just like quickly address the
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry. Let's do that. But I'm gonna make a quick note. Former Vikings linebacker and former Eagles linebacker Jordan Hicks is signing a 2-year, $8 million deal with the Browns, per source. So Jordan Hicks still in the league. Jordan Hicks still doing what he do. You wanted to address these?
Yeah.
So what's going on here?
So the MLB has a new contract with Fanatics, and they've created these newer jerseys that someone said they look like the They look like the imitation jerseys at like Foreman Mills. Um,
On 52nd Street.
yeah, on 52nd Street. So part of the issues you don't see, well, you see part of it in this picture. They're using less material because they wanted to breathe more for whatever reason. But
got in the middle of the summer when it's hot as hell. Yeah.
which okay, I get that, but not in March or April when you have games in right.
They need to have uniforms for this time of year and uniforms for the summer.
Right. So part of the issue that has come up is that, as you can see, you tell that his shirt is tucked in, and you can see where the tuck ends, and it's looking, huh?
You can see right through that. Now that you say something, yeah.
Right. So it's causing a lot of consternation and creating a lot of
Oh, wait a minute. It's causing a lot of what? What's that word?
Consternation.
Consternation. I'm going to try to use that one day.
Yeah.
Means.
Yeah. Don't ask Mr. Shipley. He thinks consternation is a number 4 at Dairy Queen. So
consternation was when you had to take like milk and magnesia or something.
Well, you could probably see the constipation, but it's causing a lot of issues where it's creating a lot of awkward moments. So,
oh my goodness, what is going on here? Oh,
right. Too much.
Is it gone? Is it over?
It's over. Sorry.
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I feel like I just got violated. I feel like there's some type of violation in there. I feel like I have to say something. Like there's something. Something just happened. I'm not really sure. There it is again. What is going on?
So yeah, the players have not they have not taken too kindly to these jerseys and have voiced their opinion about them to the league. So at first it was, they hated Fanatics, but Fanatics actually said this was agreed upon by all the major heads of Major League Baseball. So this is what we're going with. And the bigger issue is, and I'll save you, okay? And it's not, huh?
You want me to just do that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. On the back of the jerseys, they wanted to make the logo, the Major League Baseball logo. It's pretty much a batter like this with the red and the white. They wanted to make that logo bigger because they wanted a more of a presence, like people to know that, hey, this is Major League Baseball. I don't know if you're paying $120 for an upper deck seat, you're at a Major League Baseball game. But they needed to have the logo bigger. And what that does is the nameplate now becomes smaller. So now it looks actually kind of scrunched. That's why everybody said it looked like a discount jersey at like a discount store. So, yeah.
Yeah, like we really need to see a bigger Major League Baseball logo, and like we don't know that.
It's all about marketing, man. All about money.
I thought we was at the minor league. I thought we was at the Red and Phillies. I thought we was fighting Phils.
Like,
but I see that logo, I know we are actually at a major league game.
Yeah, that and this $98 hot dog.
Thank you, MLB. Otherwise, I would not have been able to determine. Are we ever going to get to the point? And this is just I just kind of randomly thought of this just now. Are we ever going to get to the point where Major League Baseball teams are wearing advertisements on their uniforms? Because let me give you a let me put something by you. So in other countries they do it, right? For a lot of basketball, baseball, they soccer has advertisements. Here, I think you may have you may I know on like not preseason. When they're at camp, they'll have an advertisement on their jersey. In football, basketball now has each team has one advertiser on their jersey, right? You don't see that in baseball. However, not counting hockey, baseball is thought to be the lowest money generating major sport here behind basketball and football. However, you see basketball teams with jerseys. I mean, with advertisements on Dre. Do you think that happens with baseball? I'd
Um,
say no, but I just feel like there's so many purists for baseball, and the baseball game is changing from the pure game. It'll happen soon.
well, it actually did start.
Well, my whole dissertation is ruined.
Well, the reason why, um, it's because so right now San Diego was the first team to do it in 2022. They have a patch, I believe, on their shoulder here on the
Okay,
sleeve for Motorola. Um,
realize it. Wait a minute.
Arizona.
Does Seattle have one? Does Seattle have
No,
one?
no, no, no. That patch is that's actually a logo from a. You talking about their city jerseys because they have a patch on there from.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I don't think San Diego, Boston. The Red Sox have one from Mass Mutual. Um, Cincinnati. The Reds have Kroger's on there. Houston Astros has Oxy. Yeah, the
You like the pimple pads?
no, this is actually Occidental Petroleum. Yeah, yeah.
Might be.
The Angels have FBM, which is foundation building materials. And I think that's it so far. So it's only about like maybe 5 or 6 teams that are doing it. So it's coming to every city near you at some point, but it has started. I think Motorola paid like 25 million to have that logo on there.
Wow.
But
Real quick.
it doesn't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm getting ready to wrap it up. So go ahead. You
No, I was going to say for Major League Baseball, I didn't think it would make sense to do that because baseball, like you have so many like advertisements in the screen.
Yeah.
Like it does to me, it doesn't make sense. Like hockey, okay, because the hockey players are constantly moving, football players constantly moving. But like you can just post like, okay, here's Oxy, rub your pimples off, whatever. I don't know what their slogan is.
Right.
So.
Real quick, I forgot what I was about to say earlier, but I just thought about this because I didn't mention it earlier. I meant to tell you, you may have already seen it. There was a little kerfuffle in the women's LSU South Carolina game last night.
I did see that.
It was interesting. And both benches got ejected.
Love it. Oh yeah, that's right. Because they had no one had a bench the final couple minutes, right? Yeah.
Last 2 minutes of the game, they were 5-on-5. Yep, absolutely. Was there? I'm trying to hurry up and remember.
I miss a good brawl.
Yeah, the Malice at the Palace kind of ruined that.
I meant like in other sports, because basketball is not a sport. I think I'm sorry. I just ruined your whole mood. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'll get you a basketball for Christmas.
Give me the airless basketball.
Stupid.
Give me the airless basketball. All right, look, here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us. The person that was that called in didn't want to wait too long, so they hung up. But we appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast with myself and of course the star of the show, Mr. Coach Santa in the building. Check him out with the dirt bags. Coming to a baseball field near you. Quick note, the Penwood baseball team will be playing on their brand new field for the first time on Friday against Norristown High School. So good luck to them. Maybe I'll come check it out. First game on the new field. Got to see it.
Dude, I keep forgetting you're not the coach there anymore.
You keep forgetting what?
I keep forgetting that you're not the head coach anymore.
No, I have relinquished my duties there, and I have moved on. And I said it's not fair thrilled that I get to coach this wonderful school baseball team, and I think I should allow the world to enjoy coaching this team as much as I have.
Yeah, but you didn't have to give him a whole new. You didn't have to give him a whole new stadium. Jeez, new field and everything.
Do what I do.
He got dugouts, man.
You're not going to coach in the new stadium. I was like, yeah, as much as I'd like to, yeah, it'd be nice, but it's time. I'm ready, and I kind of get it. Like I kind of get it with the professional athletes, and I'm not a professional athlete. You already know that, but I kind of get it now, where it's like when you know when it's time.
Yeah, I got you.
When it's time, and so with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us for yet another episode of the Check Swing Podcast with myself and the star of the show, Mr. Coach Santa. We're gonna get up out of here, and we'll talk to you next time right here on the Check Swing Podcast. We out of here.
Dallas sucks.
Dallas does suck. All right, peace out, y'all.